In late 2021, Meepo launched the $1,699 Meepo Hurricane to massive fanfare. It was much more powerful and had a significantly larger battery than the similarly priced X-Way Atlas, which was the board to beat in the carbon fiber all-terrain category. Fast forward to 2023 and the field has become much more competitive. In response, the Hurricane has been updated to the Hurricane Vader. Besides boasting a slightly lower price tag at $1,599, it also features several changes from the previous version of the Hurricane. As usual, let's go through the specs and build to see what we have here. This deck is identical to the one on the original Hurricane, but with a modified grip tape print design. It has a more understated aesthetic and a smaller logo, which to us looks more sleek and contemporary. Beyond aesthetics, this is the same double drop deck constructed from T700 3K carbon fibers. It's worth noting this material since it's used in manufacturing professional drones. It is stiff with no flex, and it is wide with a pronounced concave. For its ESC, the Meepo Hurricane Vader has once again chosen the 12S Lingyi ESC. This ESC features a push-to-turn-on function and offers 4 speed modes as well as 4 brake modes. By 2023, Meepo had begun integrating the Hobbywing ESC into some of its boards. Therefore, the decision to stick with Lingyi for this model seems intentional, suggesting that Meepo aims for this board to have an aggressive edge. The ESC is paired with the standard M4S Meepo remote, which is the same one used for the previous Meepo Hurricane. This remote includes a display that shows speed, battery status, and other pertinent information. Battery on the Meepo Hurricane Vader remains unchanged. It is still powered by a big 12S 4P battery using Molicel P42A, totaling up to 725.8 watt-hours or 16.8 amp-hours. By 2023, this no longer outshines the competition, but it remains competitive for its price point. Meepo advertises a range of 31 miles or 50 kilometers. In our tests, we achieved up to 22 miles or 35 kilometers while riding in the highest speed mode. This is a notable improvement over the previous Hurricane's range of 18.5 miles or 30 kilometers. We suspect this increased efficiency is due to the gear drive being more energy efficient than the belt. So let's talk about the gear drive. These are a pair of 3500 watt 6374 motors. Meepo calls this the Gear Drive System 4.0, a name that doesn't mean much to us except that it's no longer the planetary gear drive found on the older City Rider 2 and Eco Mobile boards. Gear drives are always exciting because they offer efficiency close to that of hub drives while maintaining the smooth ride quality that comes from not having a stiff hub core inside the wheels. These gear drives are generally more expensive. For example, Meepo allows customization of the Hurricane via the Hurricane Ultra product page, and the gear drive option is priced $100 higher than the belt version. While these drives must still be time-tested for durability, so far we haven't heard much about failures related to the gear drive. These motors have a marketed top speed of 32 miles per hour or 52 kilometers per hour, which is slightly lower than the previous belt-driven Meepo Hurricane. We suspect this difference may be due to gear ratio settings that prioritize torque over speed. Additionally, we didn't reach the top speed in our test because we lacked a strong, straight stretch of road. The board accelerated powerfully from a standstill, but its acceleration tapered off as it reached higher speeds. As a result, it took some time to reach its maximum speed, and our test ended when we ran out of road, reaching 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour, well below the board's limit. As for the trucks, Meepo sticks to what works and uses the same double kingpin trucks as on the Hurricane. We already know that they work well and have a good balance between stability and responsiveness. For those who prefer stability, Meepo still allows customization and the true kingpin option through Meepo Hurricane Ultra X. For wheels, there are changes. Instead of 155mm pneumatic wheels, the Hurricane Vader uses Meepo's new Cyclone 165S racing wheels with CNC manufactured rim. The board weighs at a bulky 39 pounds or 17.6 kilograms. It's definitely on the heavy side with this one. All in all, the Meepo Hurricane Vader offers impressive specs for $1,599. While I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking in terms of value for money, a 12S4P carbon fiber board with gear drives assembled with such finesse is about as good as it gets for $1,599. Now that we've cleared the specs, let's get into how it feels to take the Meepo Hurricane Vader out for a spin. Those who are unfamiliar with the Hurricanes, this beautiful carbon fiber deck is nice to ride too. It's nice and wide, with enough room for people with larger feet. The stiffness of the deck and the pronounced concave help to keep the board stable at high speed, which is an important aspect considering that this is a very, very powerful board. For Vader, the speed control is better than the previous Hurricane. The speed controls for Mode 1 to Mode 3 are now perfectly smooth and intuitive, as good as Hobbywing ESC. And as per typical Meepo fashion, Mode 4 is over the top strong and has that extra punch primarily useful for uphill climbs. If you are a beginner, Mode 4 will definitely be too strong for you, as it rockets the board forward super strongly with its aggressive acceleration curve. It is super thrilling if you are into those kinds of things, but for most riders, Mode 3 is a lot more comfortably usable and is already very strong. Meepo Hurricane Vader has a very distinct riding feel. It uses double kingpin trucks, but the board feels more stable than it is responsive. We think this has a lot to do with the 165S Cyclone wheels, which has wide contact patches and is super duper grippy. This means that while we can maneuver the board with ease and carving is fun, the board isn't nimble, and executing sharp L turns is not easy. We also blame the grippiness of the Cyclone wheels for holding back the acceleration. When we test the top speed, it feels like the wheels are too glued to the tarmac, stopping the board from leaping forward. And upon releasing the throttle, the board will suddenly lose a significant amount of speed, enough to potentially cause wobbles for inexperienced riders. This was surprising because gear drives usually offer better free rolling compared to belt systems, but the 165S Cyclone wheels seem to negate that advantage. This is not to say we don't enjoy the Cyclone wheels though. They are exceptionally comfortable. We felt almost no road vibration, zero. And all the credit has to go to the wheels, as the stiff carbon fiber deck wouldn't have done anything to help reduce road vibration. Not sure how important this is to you, but the gear drive is also quieter. I don't know if there's anything negative to say about the Meepo Hurricane Vader, except that it no longer dramatically undercuts the competition in terms of price and specs. Instead, it has evolved into an uncompromising premium board, featuring quality parts, a refined finish, and an amazing ride. Its ride profile leans more toward torque, power, and stability. If you're in the market for a powerful board with great specs, you can't do much better than the $1,599 Meepo Hurricane Vader. As always, if you are looking to buy any e-skate, be sure to use our affiliated discount code with the link below. It will help you get a small monetary discount and helps us out too. You'll also be tagged as an Electric Skateboard HQ customer and probably be treated better. Ride safe, guys.